Welcome to our channel. Today, we're exploring some of the most incredible structures built in seemingly impossible locations. Across the vast canvas of our planet, humanity has consistently demonstrated an almost defiant urge to build, to create, to leave its mark. Sometimes this drive pushes us to the very limits of what seems feasible, challenging the raw power of nature itself. We find ourselves drawn to the precipice, the remote peak, the turbulent waters, not as barriers, but as invitations to innovate and to endure. These are not merely buildings, they are profound statements. Statements of faith, of necessity, of strategic imperative, or simply of an unyielding desire to conquer the unconquerable. They stand as monuments to human ingenuity, resourcefulness, and an extraordinary capacity for adaptation. In this journey, we shall witness how architects and builders of old, armed often with rudimentary tools but boundless vision, carved out existences in places where logic might suggest none could thrive. Join me as we embark on an exploration of these architectural marvels. We will venture to sheer cliff faces, delve into structures hewn from living rock, brave the open seas, and ascend to breathtaking heights. Each location tells a unique story of human aspiration, a testament to our species' remarkable ability to transform the seemingly inhospitable into a place of shelter, worship, or defense. The question, of course, presents itself with an almost childlike simplicity. Why? Why choose the sheer cliff, the unstable precipice, the isolated pillar of rock, or the relentless assault of the open sea as a foundation for one's endeavors? Often the primary driver is security. In ages past, a defensible position was paramount. Monasteries on cliffs offered sanctuary from harm. Their inaccessibility was their greatest asset. Religious devotion also drove such undertakings, seeking solace in remote, awe-inspiring landscapes. These places were seen as thresholds to the divine. Consider also the strategic imperative. Watchtowers and forts provided unparalleled vantage points. The difficulty of construction was a calculated investment. And then there is the simple, yet profound human desire to overcome. To see not a barrier, but a challenge. This drive has been a constant throughout our history. Building in these places becomes a dialogue between human ambition and nature. Designs shaped by the landscape becoming part of the place. Our first destination takes us to the Hengshan mountain range in Shanxi province, China. Here, clinging precariously to a sheer cliff face, is the Xuankong Sea, more evocatively known as the Hanging Monastery. It is a sight that defies belief, a delicate lacework of pavilions, halls and walkways seemingly suspended in midair, some 75 meters above the unforgiving ground. The initial impression is one of utter fragility. How can such a structure, exposed to the relentless forces of wind, rain and the shifting mountain itself, endure for over 15 centuries? It appears almost as if it were breathed onto the rock face rather than built by human hands. Yet, endure it has, a testament to the extraordinary ingenuity of its creators. Construction, believed to have begun in the late 5th century during the Northern Wei dynasty, was a monumental undertaking. The chosen location, beneath the summit of Kuiping Peak, was not accidental. It offered protection from severe flooding that plagued the valley below, and the overhanging cliff shielded the wooden structures from the worst excesses of sun and precipitation, contributing significantly to their remarkable preservation. The true genius of its design lies in how it integrates with the mountain. Crossbeams were not merely placed upon ledges, but were deeply embedded into the rock itself. Holes were chiseled into the cliff face, and long oak poles were inserted, acting as the primary load-bearing elements. The visible stilts that seem to support the monastery are, in many instances, more for show, or perhaps to provide a psychological reassurance than for actual structural support. Walking along its narrow corridors and peering down into the gorge below is an experience that quickens the pulse. The timber creaks, a gentle reminder of the organic nature of the structure and the immense forces it continually negotiates. Yet there is an overwhelming sense of stability, a confidence born from centuries of successfully defying gravity. The monastery is also unique in its religious syncretism, housing elements of Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism within its walls. We journey now to the highlands of Ethiopia, to Lalibela, a place of profound spiritual significance and astonishing architectural achievement. In the 12th and 13th centuries, magnificent churches were carved directly from volcanic rock. The Church of St. George, or Beit Georgis, is the most iconic, a cruciform structure excavated downwards. It stands in a deep trench, connected by tunnels and passages carved from the same red rock. The scale of the undertaking is difficult to comprehend. Legend attributes these churches to King Lalibela, inspired to create a new Jerusalem in Africa. The craftsmanship is extraordinary, with intricate details all sculpted from a single piece of stone. Each church is a singular, colossal sculpture with no bricks or mortar. These churches are living places of worship, central to the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Christian faith. Pilgrims still flock to Lalibela, treading ancient pathways, their prayers echoing in the chambers. Our attention now shifts from ancient devotion to more recent and starkly utilitarian structures, the Maunsell sea forts. These alien-looking towers rise unexpectedly from the waters of the Thames and Mersey estuaries in the United Kingdom, stark reminders of a world at war, and a fascinating example of rapid, robust construction in a hostile marine environment. Designed by Guy Maunsell during the Second World War, these forts were intended as anti-aircraft platforms to defend crucial shipping lanes and industrial centers from aerial attack by the Luftwaffe. There were two main types: the Army forts, consisting of clusters of interconnected towers, and the Navy forts, which were twin concrete towers supporting a steel platform. Their construction, primarily between 1942 and 1943, was a race against time. Built on shore and dry docks, the massive concrete bases and steel superstructures were then floated out to their designated positions, often under the threat of enemy action, and carefully sunk onto the seabed. This was a perilous undertaking, requiring precise navigation and engineering in challenging tidal waters. Imagine the scene, these colossal, otherworldly structures being towed out to sea, then slowly, deliberately settling into the murky depths, ready to become bastions of defense. The men stationed on these isolated platforms faced not only the enemy, but also the relentless power of the sea, the wind, and the profound isolation of their metallic outposts. Life aboard the Maunsell forts was cramped, cold, and dangerous. Each fort was a self-contained world, equipped with guns, searchlights, radar, and living quarters for the crew, who endured long, watchful tours of duty. They were the first line of defense, their guns blazing against incoming bombers, their presence a deterrent and a symbol of defiance. The design itself was ingenious. The Army forts, like Red Sands or Shivering Sands, comprised 7 individual towers connected by catwalks. A central control tower was surrounded by gun towers, a searchlight tower, and accommodation. This modular design allowed for relatively quick assembly and deployment, critical during wartime. Our final exploration takes us to the plains of Thessaly in central Greece, where an extraordinary geological phenomenon has given rise to the breathtaking monasteries of Meteora. Immense columns of dark sandstone rise sheer and isolated from the valley floor, like colossal natural pillars reaching for the sky. Perched atop these pinnacles are ancient monasteries, some dating back to the 14th century. Meteora translates to "suspended in the air," a fitting description for these sanctuaries that float between earth and sky. The first hermits sought refuge in these rocks as early as the 9th century, drawn by the solitude and spiritual elevation. By the 14th century, these peaks became ideal for monastic communities, offering protection from political turmoil. Building these monasteries was an act of immense faith and effort. Materials had to be hauled up sheer cliff faces hundreds of meters high. For centuries, access was via long ladders or large nets, used to hoist monks and supplies. Being winched up in a net swaying over the abyss was a true test of faith. Imagine monks and craftsmen clinging to the rock, constructing these havens of prayer. Each stone laid, each beam positioned was a victory against gravity. The risks were enormous, but the spiritual rewards were greater. Of the 24 monasteries, only 6 remain active today, meticulously preserved. These include Great Meteoron, Varlam, Rusanu, St. Nicholas Anapausis, St. Stephen, and Holy Trinity. Each has its own unique character and rich history. The architecture is a remarkable adaptation to the unique terrain. Buildings often follow the irregular contours of the rock summit, with chapels, refectories, and cells clustered tightly together. From the vertiginous cliffs of China, to the rock-hewn sanctuaries of Ethiopia, from the defiant sea forts of Britain, to the ethereal pinnacles of Greece, we have journeyed through landscapes where human ambition has dared to meet the impossible. Each structure we have explored is a narrative etched in stone, wood, or steel, a story of faith, of necessity, of unparalleled ingenuity, and of an unyielding spirit that refuses to be constrained by the ordinary. These are more than just buildings, they are profound expressions of our capacity to adapt, to innovate, and to create enduring legacies in the face of formidable challenges. They remind us that the limits of possibility are often self-imposed, and that with vision, courage, and perseverance, humanity can achieve the truly extraordinary. The echoes of the builders' toil, their dreams, and their dedication resonate still, inspiring awe and wonder in all who behold these marvels. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time. The world is filled with such wonders, each a testament to the incredible tapestry of human history and our intricate relationship with the planet we inhabit. Join us again as we continue to explore the remarkable achievements of humankind